Welcome. Hello, everybody. I'm going to give you guys some time to come on in the room. So, if you're watching a replay, you know what to do. Skip past this and get straight to the show. Hey, Nick. What's going on, love? How you doing? Is everything okay? Hey, Miss Leo. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, we're going to talk about that dustbuster. We're going to talk about that rusty dusty. We're going to talk about that rusty dusty who, again, and now this is my Brooklynite brother too. Hey, Anton. That's my Brooklynite brother. And one thing I would give him his props for, sometimes what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And it's okay. Men ain't right all the time because you a man and because it sounds good. Men is not right. And any real man anyway, who got a real woman doing things in their real life, ain't got no time for this. Man ain't got no time for this. No. But Anton was talking about him, doing commentary on what he said, and my man pulled up. He pulled up with his rusty dusty. But before we get into that, I do want to read I want to read his bio. Let's read his bio. We're going to check out Mr. Ragamuffin. You're going to check out that ragamuffin. That rusty dusty. And don't forget, it is today is definitely an open panel. Definitely. An open panel. No ragamuffin. A ragamuffin. Hey. So let me go find him really quick before we get on to that. Because I want to see. He act like, he got the answers. And then that hyena chick. Oh, yes, we're going to get to you, hyena. We're going to get to you too, hyena. Because she thought that it was okay to talk about this lady. See, it's sad. It's really sad when people who don't have kids talk out of their mouth. It's so sad when people who don't have kids talk out of their mouth. Hyena ain't got no daggone kids. The ragamuffin ain't got no kids. But y'all got the nerve to take that time and want to bring up the single mothers. We're so sick of hearing that. We were sick of hearing about that on the damn slave ship. That's how long y'all been talking about single mamas. That's how long you guys been talking about single mamas since the slave ship. Damn it, we're sick of it. We're sick of it. Oh, it's a patriarchy. Then take it. Nobody told y'all to drop out of school. Nobody told y'all to hang on the corners. Nobody told y'all to be always in the gym together, doing so much things together. Y'all doing so much stuff together that y'all forgot to do something for you and your family. Out there running around town, creating all these baby mamas. Instead of sitting y'all butts in school, then y'all want to talk about women go to school for absolutely nothing, just to get debt. Right along with y'all, because a black man sitting right next to him. This is ridiculous. Even I really don't pay that really no mind, because it's all it's ever going to be is conversations and discussions. Conversations and discussions. That's all it will ever be. That's it. Ain't nothing going to get, there is nothing that's going to get done. Period. Let's check him out. I got my glasses. So I have my glasses. Yes, I have my glasses, baby. Let's see what they say. Let's check him out first. The ragamuffin. Hey. Oh, rusty, dusty. Out there chasing all these women. Ain't nobody chasing him. But he showed up because he's chasing a lot of women, though. Jason Lee. Okay. Jason Lee Whitlock was born April 27th, 1967. He's 1967. Looked like he was born in 1947 for his rusty self. The Mr. Well, I was doing this before Kevin Samuels, because he really was doing this before Kevin Samuels. So now he decided it's my turn. It's my turn to rule the manosphere, damn it. It's my turn. I got the bigger audience. How dare y'all let these little people in here? Let me show you how it's done. If anybody's coming in, I would definitely say hello to you. But I can't see that screen right now. But don't worry. You know I got you. You know I got you. Okay. Jason Lee Whitlock was born April 27th. All my Tauruses out there, remove him. Is American sports journalist, columnist, and podcaster. He hosts a program with the media called Blaze Media, where he hosts the show Fearless with Jason Whitlock. Whitlock is a former columnist, like we care, at the Kansas City Star, AOL Sports, FoxSports.com, and ESPN. He need to go so he can talk about women all day. He was a radio personality for WHB, and KCSP sports stations in Kansas City area. Whitlock played Division I college football. Anybody want to play football with you? Now let's get to his we're gonna skip this. We want to get to his other stuff. Where his mama at? Where his mama? Cause we already know that rusty dusty, as we see, 55. He'll be 56 years old. He ain't got no wife, no kids. No wife, no kids. Let's go back and look. Let's see what else we can find on this dusty rusty. This dusty rust. The rust dust. Look at this. Jason Whitlock crumbles after seeing women's sports. Who crumbles because they see women playing sports? Something is seriously wrong with this man. What's wrong with your mama? What is wrong with your mama? What's wrong with your mama, Jason? You mad? You mad at your mommy? Is that the problem that we have here? Don't forget, guys, if you haven't hit that like, hit that like. Jason Whitlock family. Let's see what it says. Ain't nothing cute about you. Jason, okay, let's see if we find something here. Jason Whitlock, wife, parents, family, network biography. Okay. Jason Whitlock is a sports journalist who has not influenced, they say influence, but he didn't influence anybody, right? Journalism through his distinctive writing style. Damn. I wonder if his father taught him that. I wonder if his daddy taught him that. Let's see all the things that his father did for him, because I'm quite sure the way he talking, his daddy did that, right? His daddy. Let's see what his daddy taught him that, right? Using classic and memorable words. He is drawn to Earth journalists who has worked for ESPN, AOL Sports, Fox Sports, Kansas City Star, and various media houses, together with Colin Cowherd, who is also a journalist. He also hosts the Daily Show Speak. Okay, let's see what Dad. I don't see Daddy. Okay, let's see this. Jason Whitlock bio. Jason Lee Whitlock was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, on April 27, 1969, the son of James and Joyce Whitlock. Oh my goodness, what happened here? The upbringing was not peaceful for him. Damn, I thought Daddy taught you how to write the way you talk. The upbringing was not peaceful for him as his father always played games of chance rather than be at home with his family. Ain't that something? Which resulted in his parents divorcing after 8 years of marriage. Jason also has a brother named after his father, James. Isn't that something? Guess what, guys? Guess what? He got a single mama. Your daddy was shit. Your daddy wasn't nothing neither. Your daddy didn't choose you. Your daddy, you had a daddy. And your daddy said, goodbye. Goodbye, baby. Your daddy picked up and left you. So you were stuck with that single mama. I'm trying to figure out, how did you get successful with a single mama? How did your single mama do it? Being that your daddy left you. I thought your daddy, the way you talk, I thought your daddy taught you how to write and through football. I used to play football and basketball and go to games and church and all that good stuff. What I read here, no, daddy said daddy was a rolling stone. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Daddy picked up and left. Let's say this again. Jason Lee Whitlock was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, on April 27, 1967. The son of James and Joyce Whitlock. The upbringing was not peaceful for him, as his father always played games of chance. Now, what type of chance is this? Rather than being at home with his family, which resulted in his parents divorcing. So by 8 years old, you was in a household with your single mama, and your mama had to raise you and your brother all alone. I'm trying to see how you made it yourself, Mr. Come from a single parent household. Because everybody got a daddy. Yours wasn't there like the rest of them. But let's carry on. He loved sports when he was growing up, and he was an active athlete throughout his teenage years. I wondered, how did that happen with no man in the house? How did he become an active athlete? There ain't no men in the house. Because it takes men to raise a man. A woman can't raise a man. How is that possible? I would like to know. I want to know. How is that possible, mister? That's why things happen, because of the single mamas, and you the one say, well, we need to have this conversation. Yeah, we need to start with your mama. Let's start with your mama and your grandmama. Let's start with them. He attended Warren Central High School in Indianapolis, where he actively participated in football. He was a very good offensive lineman and received a scholarship to Ball State University, where he earned a degree in journalism. Man, not joking. Stop joking. Stop playing with me. This whole thing is a lie. This whole story is a lie. It's an absolute lie. Y'all hear him lying in this? Because the way he tell it, black men can't do nothing in a single household. It was his mama with two. How was he able to do all of this? But everybody else who got single mamas, they thugs, they this, but not this guy. I wonder how his single mama did it. I wonder, how did she do that? How did she raise you and your brother like any other single black mother who had good kids? And some people have kids just for the streets. How did she do that? Let's start with your mama. You want to have the conversation? Let's start with your mama. Now let's go. Jason began his career as a part-time journalist for the Herald Times in Bloomington, Indiana, and then joined the Charlotte Observer for my glasses. Oh, sorry guys, I can't see nothing. I still can't see. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. As a report in 1992, he worked for 2 years for the Ann Arbor News, and the University of Michigan was assigned as his touchstone. He did all of this. What happened with mama? According to the sources, Jason Whitlock net worth is estimated to be $10 million. This is due to his $2.1 million contract with Fox Sports, which we need for that to go. You need to go. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Nobody don't want you. And the single mother raised you. His relationship status is one of the most discussed topics when Jason's mentioned. He believes that marriage is a distraction. No, you is a distraction. Walking with you is a distraction. Being around you is a distraction. Laying in the bed with you is a distraction. When you take off that shirt, that's a distraction. You are the complete distraction. Soon as you open your mouth, that's a distraction. And that being single will make him more focused and determined in his career. He has been interviewed extensively about his marriage plans, but he has made it clear in a playful way that being single is fun and that it has its own advantages. Now, despite the shortcomings of Jason Vaders, he remains one of the greatest inspirations. And is this somebody else? In 2013, when he lost his father out of nostalgia, he wrote an article for Fox Sports about his father, talking about the good and bad days he grew up with him. You ain't only had bad days because she was a single mama. He left like the other black men. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? He left just like the other black men. He gone. He gone. He was gone. Hey, Gary. How you doing, Gary? He was gone. He gone. He was gone. He was gone. Just like the other black men who left, who chose to leave their family to play. Because he wanted to play. Exactly. He already a lonely old man. I bet you he got them blue pills. He got them blue pills on deck, baby. He got them blue pills on deck. He got them on stash. He keep them in his pocket at all times. He got the blue pills. Stop playing. Before you go after somebody else, mama, let's talk about your mama. People, these men are always so good about, well, this is what we need to talk about. Yes, start at home. Start with your mama. What your mama do when your daddy spent up all the money, gambling and stuff? What did your mama do when there was no money in the household? What did your mother do? Well, I wrote it in the book. We want to hear it again. We don't want to read your book. How did you feel when mama ain't had no money, and then daddy left, and she had to take care of you and your brothers, but you still made it to be an athlete and to go to school and do all the things that you had to do. We want to know, how is that possible? So was she a good black mother or a bad black mother? Sound like she was a good black mother to me. But according to you, she wasn't. According to him, not me. According to him. Now, my man, he runs up. I know my man Anton. He runs up on him. He minding his business. Doing his show. Brooklyn. That's my Brooklyn brother there. Then he's going to try to, let me tell you, these men is something else. He sits there, try to over-talk him, try to double-talk him, and then gonna throw in some shots at the same time. Let's go.
Shout out to Miss Dalton. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You are absolutely awesome. Thank you for the support in the live stream. If at any point you want to reach out to me and you want to have a real conversation, you know me, I fly to you. Now, I will say that I don't require anybody to be able to send me no plane ticket. I fly first class on my own dime, baby. I'm first class everything, everywhere, all the time for the rest of life. All right? I extend you an invitation to come on a platform, or I'll even show up on your platform. You can write it out, you can censor it, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. All I'm saying is, at the end of the conversation, I guarantee you one thing. You're going to feel different about what it is that you said after we get done having that conversation. All right? Anyways, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Alpha Juice Company. That link is in the description for you to get the discount. Use the discount code. Go to their website, use the discount code. In addition to that, Patreon. Oh, Jesus. You gotta be kidding me. This came down. Now, let me his YouTube channel just to make sure that it's the real him. Oh, it is him. Okay, cool. I am waiting. Ooh, this is gonna be good, boy.
Fire.
I'm not hanging up. I'm right here. Oz right here. Oz be your huckleberry with the Alpha Juice Company. Oz right here. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. The link is only for Jason. The link is only for Jason. It is not for anybody else. As soon as I hear the bling bling, I will bring you up. As soon as I hear the bling bling, I will bring you up.
Just hold on, Marquise.
You don't have to continue to type. Just cam up. You don't have to continue. You ain't got to call. It's okay, girl. 'Cause I'ma be all right tonight. You don't have to call. Well, we know it's the real him because I went and checked it just to make sure. I'm waiting. Time is money. Thank you, Jeremy Clay. I appreciate you. I guess I'm gonna just wait. Thank you, Jeremy Clay. I appreciate it. Teeth as beautiful as ever. I spent the grip. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Literally, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all want me to drop the link again? I'll drop the link again. Give me a second. The link, I just dropped it in the chat. Here, I'll drop it again for y'all.
It's coming.
Let me spin myself around. Give me a second. Any day now. Y'all want me to drop the link again?
Drop it again. Any day now.
Any day now. Not Trey. I need a real person. Come on. There we go.
He coming. There he go.
Give me a second. Let me add you to the left. Mr. Whitlock.
What's up?
This the man.
What's going on?
Everybody want him.
Same old different day. Just a little. We got a little weather here in Nashville, so I couldn't do the show. And someone from my team was like, "Hey, got doing the show."
So, are you willing to admit that you're wrong yet?
Admit that I'm not willing to admit that I'm wrong.
So you jumped on Tuck. You was on Fox News.
Hold on. I'm getting feedback. I'm hearing two different. I'm doing something wrong here. Let me. You still got me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, I think I had this up and the show.
Just go talk the smack.
So let me first by saying that
Just go talk the smack.
I thank you for having the courage to actually come up here and have this conversation, because most people wouldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, if we getting straight to it, so you were on Tucker Carlson, and the first part of the interview I actually agreed with, right? When you had the conversation and you said that this is closed, open, and shut, and that it was clear that the dude did whatever that he did, and supposed to be arrested and so on and so forth. But then you went into a conversation and you started talking about specifically Black women, right? Now I'm an equal accountability smoke giver, and I hold people accountable across the board. However, you mentioned supervisor, a single mother supervisor, and then you tied that back into the case specifically. Why isn't it?
I would think in that part you're talking about the last 60 seconds, I spoke a little inaccurately off the top of my head. I was trying to make an analogy.
Of what?
At that time, I didn't know the woman's marital status. I was using it as an analogy that they basically installed a woman to fix the behavior of young Black men, which is out of control. And so it wasn't speaking specifically about her marital status.
So
it was
what you
speaking
do?
about the myth that Black women can control, correct, get young Black men in line, and I just don't believe they can do that. And I look at
So what you doing?
our neighborhoods, the breakdown of our family as evidence of the inability of the matriarchy to produce properly behaving communities, young men, whatever. And so I think they've made a mistake installing this woman to fix a problem that's pretty much focused.
No, you were speaking smack, and she had to let you know, boo, 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 baby, I am married. Next. So then you had to fix that. But it does not take away from the fact that this is a whole different conversation. Yeah, she qualified for the job. She didn't get the job, but it doesn't take away. This whole entire conversation is another entire conversation. I don't see where me tearing down even a man. I wouldn't even care if I was pro-woman. The point is that happened to somebody's child. At what point in time do we show respect without always trying to prove a point? The point ain't what you want to do is 2023. The point will never be proven, ever. I don't care what side it's coming from. Your point will never be proven. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, people said they broke it up, but in all reality, we never even had a family during slavery, Gary. We never even had a family to even break up. We had to learn to put a family together, but we didn't even have a family because they brought us here and they separated us. So we didn't even have a family since slavery. They ain't break us up. We never had a family then either. They didn't say, hey, the married couple, y'all get to stay over there. That didn't happen. See, people had wives back then, but I was still wait. Hold on, because I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get back to that topic, but let me just finish with this one. When does it get to the point that we stop having respect for people? When did it come to the point that we stop having respect for the people who have met their maker, their family members who is really going through it? When did we sit up there and say, oh, it was about a woman? So you mean to tell me 5 grown men, six grown men, 7, I believe it was 7 grown men. It was the 5 black cops. It was also some Caucasian cops. When do we say, oh, because she messing with his ex? It turns into, well, because he got single mama. Come to find out, that man, yes, his mother and father are not together, but he was not raised in a household with a single mother because the mother has remarried. If you listen to the news, that is who we hear talking, the stepfather, correct? And then it went from, oh, he was messing with his ex. When did we get to this point? We have never seen this type of stupidness when it was the Caucasian cops beating up on us. We didn't have 50 million reasons why they did it. Now the roles has changed. Now we want to blame it on everybody but the cop, but the popo who did it. And talking about this is like gang violence and stuff. Okay, this was gang violence and all this other stuff. So who was there when they graduated? Was these the same mothers that was there for their kids when they graduated police academy? Like, hey, mom, I'm gonna be a police, I'm gonna be a popo. If they got single mothers, because we don't know what their households are. But when every time, it's not our fault that every time when a black man gets somewhere, it's not our fault he give thanks to his mama. That's not our fault. The man himself gives the thanks, the shout outs to his mama. It's not our fault he don't give it to his daddy. It's not our fault that there's plenty of, and these are by men. They talk about it's a patriarchy. They wanted to be back paid. These are men that start in trouble with other men, and women get in the middle of it. It's not our fault. All these men is writing these dear mamas and I always love my mom. Men are writing these songs. It's not our fault, the judges, which our men said, hey, let's get the woman get child support. That's not our fault. It's not our fault when these men make the record deals. It's not women for, hey, my mama. It's not our fault. And then the men, y'all mad. How you mad at us? Because y'all don't get shout outs and all this other stuff. Then that biggest comeback is, well, my mama, well, the mama ain't want me around. And the courts is for the women. Ninja, please. A court ninja, please. See, we got too many different forms of social media. Men don't have that excuse no more. Oh, that's a blessing, Gary. That is a blessing. That's a blessing. But let's finish listening to this Dusty, this garbage bag, this rude boy, this ragamuffin. Let's go.
On the failure of young men.
But see, the problem with that, Mr. Whitlock, is that there's a lot of people, and even in this chat, right? And there's a lot of people that take what you say as gospel. And they're your supporters, right? And I've even had people that cammed up with me and they told me on Monday, and we already in Wednesday, and they told me Monday, well, Jason was right because it's the black mother's fault. And I'm like, well, let me find the context. And it took me a couple days to be able to find the context. But the reality is that you don't think that it was incredibly irresponsible or grossly negligent. Well, you got to let me finish the question first.
Again,
you got to let me finish the question.
Negligent, the things that I said. No, I don't.
How can you deny something and I didn't even finish the question yet?
Finish the question.
Okay. You don't think that it's grossly negligent to just leave that out there on a large platform such as Fox News, especially specifically addressing a woman whose marital status obviously is the complete opposite of whatever it is that you said on that platform, and then having that tied to and distract people from whatever it is that's being communicated as far as holding these guys accountable for what it is that they did to Tyree Nichols.
I established with the first part of my comments that I believe those men are going to be held responsible. It's an open and shut case.
You did.
Looks at the video. And so holding those guys accountable, I don't think it can be distracted from. They're going to be held accountable. The video speaks for itself. I don't know if they have much of a defense. I was trying to argue or trying to put in that there's a cultural rot and a family breakdown within black communities that going to create situations like this over and over and over again. I came back on Monday, wrote a complete column clarifying everything that I said and why that I said it and why it was unpacked that way during a 4-minute TV segment. And then I came back Monday night on my show and expounded on that for 3.5 hours. There were people on my show who disagreed with me and questioned some of the things that I said. So any thought that, I'm...
But did you apologize,
people disagree? No, because I don't have anything to apologize for.
But you were wrong.
No, I spoke...
about a woman specifically.
In a way, no, it wasn't about a woman specifically.
You did. You used
You
her
actually played the
as
tape.
as the poster child.
There's no one that listened to that interview that didn't understand that I was saying the breakdown of black family and our matriarchal culture are the problems.
That was the context, Jason. You led off.
No, that's what
You led the argument by saying and using her specifically as the jump off point to then substantiate your argument with what it is that you wanted to get off about. So, okay, so let me ask you a question.
Play the tape of what I actually said.
I just did. I literally
Can we play it right now?
Yeah, I'll play it right now. Yep.
Yeah. Just move to the final 60 seconds.
I got you. Give me a second.
Everyone's behaving inappropriately and 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group coverage to this and weekend coverage of this, and they want to take us to a good place. I would examine the racial element of this because there is a racial element. And this is a story about young black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. And that's what they got going on in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected or put some black woman in charge of the police force. And we're getting the same kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see in a lot of these cities that are run by single mothers. If we want...
I gotta fast forward that. I should have even played that part because they don't want that part played. But I meant to fast forward that little part. He's talking stupid because he's trying to get a shock factor. He wants his name to go further up. So he doing a shock factor. Guess what? We never heard of Whitlock, but we heard of Whitlock now. That's all this is about. Yeah, he on Fox News. You can roll it up there. You don't roll up on no Brooklyn boy. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? terrible. It's sick and it's terrible that you will have to show me the stats of when the man, before she took over and men was in charge, you will have to show me how much things were in order. You will have to say things were so much in order. Look across the country. When men in charge, everything is in order. You will have to show me that. You will have to show me all the order. My man Trump didn't even have order in his own house. My man Trump did not even, they went and tore the man's house up. They tore his house up. It was no order in his house. And he's a man and he's a president. He didn't even have people, they done came all in the man's house, tore the house up. He didn't even have no order in his own house. I don't blame you, Nicole. Hello. You right about that one. You cannot. It's because of people like him and these molds that they put in. They put in these molds to keep us going at it. And, they put in these turncoats. Somebody got to do it. Yeah, that's what it is. All propaganda. That's exactly what it is. It's all propaganda. Yes, sir. We already know this is staged and it's stupid and it's staged because nobody does that to agree. But see, again, when you don't have no kids, you could talk a lot of smack because you don't have kids. You don't have nobody that loves you like that. You don't have nobody to love. You don't have no family of your own. I'm not referring to your mom and kids, your aunts. I'm talking about your family. Like, you 55. You should at least be a grandpa by now. You don't have no children. You don't have no grandchildren. You ain't got no wife. You don't have a girlfriend. All you do is going around chasing different women all day because you're not the cutest thing. So you want people to think that you're cute because you're going to spend that money. You spending that money. You spending that money. You can't put on nothing that make a woman go, damn, you look good. You can't put on nothing. There's nothing that you can put on that a woman can say, oh, you can get it for free. Ain't happening. No, you cannot. But now the one gets to say the black man on Fox News said, yeah, and he said it. And if you looked at the Caucasian man's face, even he was like, he was part of it. He was part of it. But even to look at his face, like, we'll never say no shit like that. They sit back and laugh at us because in all reality, we all go through the same thing. We all go through the same thing. They just sit back and say, damn, the things that they would say, we would never say no ish like that. You would never see a Caucasian man come on TV and say, well, you know what? That's because they're looking like a bunch of gangs. It's them single white women. That's their fault. You would never see that. A Latino man, Chinese man, you would never. You think our behavior is terrible? No, the dumb ish that come out of their mouth is terrible. The dumb ish that come out of their mouth. God know they sit back going, damn. They say some shit like that. They say something like that about their own people. That's worse than the gang violence. That's worse than the violence. The things that we say about each other is worse. Because you know why? They have violence also. They got kids beating up on other kids. They got violence everywhere. So that doesn't make us look anyway. They got mobsters. They got gangsters. They got everything. So that doesn't make us look bad because they hurting. They got white on white crime too. It's just the things that come out of our mouth about each other. They like, damn. Get out. They like, damn. I could get them to say that. Damn, he really said that. So he tried to grow even further. But let's go.
Disingenuous, bro. Listen.
People speak imprecisely about me all the time.
Because if you didn't speak imprecisely, you've been doing this for a long time, and you know exactly what it is that you're doing. And just because you're good with words, and I may be a little bit more of a C student, but just because you're good with words don't mean that we can't see through it. The problem is that you arrogant, right? And you arrogant, and you've never, I'm not sure if people are really honest with you in your circle and helping you to understand that the greatest measure of a man is doing the thing they don't want to do when they don't want to do it. And so when you don't want to apologize, even when you know you clearly was wrong, and using her as the jump off point for your argument and then say, hey, she should be able to deal with it, that's bullshit. You know that's bullshit.
So any guys watching this that ever been in a relationship and there's some little inconsequential point that your woman wants to debate and argue with you about and go to the ends of the earth about something inconsequential, you're seeing this play out right now. And this is what I'm talking about, the female energy with men. We're debating some shit that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't.
We're lost in something that there's a real problem.
I like how you did that.
The breakdown of family. And you want to have a big, long argument about something that's completely inconsequential. I'm giving you the time. We can talk about some things more substantive, but we've been trained. Our whole culture is so feminine that we get lost in inconsequential things that mean nothing.
And the reason why I disagree with that, though, Jason, is because you're trying to spin the narrative to remove accountability. And in order to even be honest about and solve for the problems that we have in our community, the first thing that we have to do is we have to look in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable before we can decide to join inside of another conversation, because that was completely irrelevant to what it was that was being communicated about and talked about on that particular platform. In addition to that, you talked about Black men specifically, or you talked about fathers, right? You talked about fathers being raised in a home. So we're gonna go to the space that I'm assuming that you'd rather have a conversation about, because we're just gonna agree to disagree, right? You talk specifically about how, and I'm not sure, and I'm gonna ask for you to clarify. I took it as you were speaking specifically about Tyree Nichols, right? And that Black men, or men specifically, don't know how to submit to authority, right? When pulled over, we don't know how to, follow the leadership of whatever it is, or the authority of whoever it is that's pulling us over. Was you speaking specifically about Tyree Nichols, or were you just speaking in general?
Speaking in general.
Okay. So what do you really believe is the issue within the Black community specifically? Do you think that it's one thing? Do you think that one thing is bigger than the other? Do you think that it's specifically women, feminism, or how it is that single mothers are raising young men, and that's the demise of our communities? Or do you think that it's something that's bigger than that?
We have no family structure. All properly functioning houses, neighborhoods, counties, cities, states, countries, civilization is founded on family structure: man, woman, and child.
Not according to your pappy. Not according to your daddy. Your daddy left at 8 years old. Not according to your daddy. Your daddy left your daddy took all the money. He gambled all the money and left you guys with nothing. Your daddy left you with nothing. How about that? And your mama had to leave. So what happened there? You can't come from a single household parent and then want to talk about a single household parent. See, y'all gotta stop listening to these people. The problem with family is you won't do what I say. He is facing his face at being called arrogant. Submission is not a requirement. A house divided should not stand. Can you please make sure that the like button is up? Hit that like, guys. Hit the like. Hit the likety like. You can't comply with the law without being subservient. But I just like to say, he is now disqualified for telling us how a household should be when his household was not like that. And guess what? He still made it. He still made it. He still went to school. He still was on a football team. He was athletic. He got a scholarship. He went to college. I can somewhat agree to the structure. It's like, listen, there's nothing wrong with the structure, but a lot of people don't have it. Then what you do? What do you do? It's a beautiful thing when it's a mother, father, and child. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it should be. But in a lot of cases, it's not like that. And some single mothers, they have very productive children. And you got some parents who are married couples who do not have productive children. Having one parent or two parents does not mean you're going to have a productive child. It does not mean that. It does not mean the man is going to come home, he's going to discipline the kids, and he's going to make everything right. Sometimes the men come home tired. When the mother thinks that she's going to get a break and daddy's home, daddy want to eat and sleep. Well, according to him, no, Marquise, but in reality, yeah, she did. In reality, yeah, he's worth $10 million. Allegedly. We don't know. His mother did something right, but according to him, nope, she didn't. So, again, according to him, that rule don't apply. But let's go. Not according to your pappy.
In the history of the world, there have been no properly functioning societies that aren't based in a family structure, man, woman, and child.
Mm-hmm.
We, Black people, have been talked out of the family structure. This has been going on for 60, 70 years. The whole Great Society movement, the government check, replacing the man, feminism movement, Black women have bought into it. They want to be the leaders.
Is this coming from a man who says that having a wife or girlfriend is destructive? He does better without a mate. So which means that you're just sitting around playing around with the same women that you talk about. The women that who don't want to get married, the women who just want to have fun. I don't know if they call it 504, 314, 516, whatever numbers y'all call them. Them are the women that he's messing with. See, the same women that they talk about are the women that they deal with, but they talk about them at the same time. But they can't be without them at the same time, because who's going to be with them? There's no regular woman that cares about herself is going to be with him, because he doesn't want marriage and he doesn't want kids. He just want to have fun. But he's going to talk about these same women, which a majority of them do. They talk about these women. They call them dysfunctional. They say they got daddy issues. They call them every name in the book. But in reality, They cannot be without these women because who wants them? Who want them? Who wants them? You can't tell women to have more respect for yourself wait till you get married, but you're talking about a man who says, I don't want to get married. I don't want kids. I don't want none of that. So who he gonna call? The same woman he talk about? How is that creating structure? This is the man who says that we don't have no structure. But how is he creating structure? Your whole life is a lie. Everything that comes out your mouth is a lie. How are we to look up to you? Because what you say sounds good. You ain't the first one who says that. Hey, my Chrissy baby. Hey. You say submission doesn't mean yet that is true. I do believe that having a person in the home identify. See, sometimes that's tricky. Miss Leo, because it all depends on who's more dominant. Because you got a lot of kids in the house, boy. They know daddy is supposed to be that authority figure, but what mama says go. What mommy says go. So it depends on who's the. Sometimes you got the real laid back dads. You got really laid back dads that's like chill. Got that dad that's just chill. Like that's the one you could go and talk to. You could tell him anything. Cause I ain't talking to mama. And then I guess every relationship is different. So it all depends on what type of woman you are and what type of man you have. And behavior-wise, it may appear because daddy's in the household, but a lot of people is going to be good. But it's what these kids is what they do out of the household is the question. Is what they do out of the household that is the question. So, but according to him, we can't. You are now and void. We can't hear you. You can't talk when no parts of your life go with what you're saying. So now we don't hear you. But he gonna rise. He is definitely gonna rise after this because everybody know who Jason Whitlock is now, which a couple of days ago we did not. So that was all staged to get us to learn who this old ragamuffin Dusty is. Let's go.
Have a biblical worldview. Man is meant for leadership, and that's the role that he was called into and created for by God. And we're just out of order with God's natural order, and so
yeah, you're supposed to be married too, but you got a bunch of bunnies on your side. You're supposed to be married too, but you got a bunch of bunnies on your pictures with you with different women. You can't bring up biblical nothing. You don't follow the book to teach me nothing about the book. You don't follow it. See, people have to really stop listening to these people. He's weird to you, please. He's beyond weird. He just trying to gain some more supporters. Because who's going to take Kevin Samuel's spot? That's the question. Who's going to take Kevin Samuel's spot? That's all they worried about. Let's go. But he always had a bigger platform. But now he's really taking it to the next level. Let's go.
Anytime you're this out of order and you reject the family in the level that we have, talk about on my show. I'm guilty of it. other.
What do you mean by you guilty of it?
My own I did not. I prioritized career success and a bunch of other BS early in my life more so than family, because I was completely out of line and living in the world and had more of a, although I was a believer in God, my actions were more in line with the secular community.
And it still is.
There's no bigger crisis, no bigger driver of problems than the breakdown of family within the Black community. It's coming to all communities. But it's most acute within us. That's our problem. It's not white supremacy. It's not police. Again, anytime your communities are saturated with single parent households, there's going to be no effective policing. There'll be attempts, but mama and daddy have to be the first police officers that children deal with. When that's not the case, when it's grandmama and auntie and cousin and this and that, you're just gonna have chaos within those communities, and there's gonna be bad outcomes. And Tyre Nichols, what I was arguing again on my show and in my he's just collateral damage to the breakdown within our communities and the breakdown of families. And we produce a lot of collateral damage in our communities because
on his part,
of lack of family structure.
Officers, or both?
Excuse me?
On his part, the part of the officers, or both? Because when you say the breakdown, it's a lot of different factors that I think that people observing what happened with Tyre Nichols would point to as far as how things could have been prevented or how things could have been done differently. So like, for example, when you say the breakdown, one person can say, okay, well, he should have never ran in the first place and maybe he would still be alive today, right? Submitting to authority. Another person would say, well, it's the officers and how it is that they operated and their inability to be able to control themselves and police themselves effectively. And then another person will say, well, people make mistakes and they do stuff, but then what about all of the officers around them and their inability to be able to stand up and say, hey, we got to stop or whatever like that? Do you think that it was on the part from an individual perspective as far as Tyre or the police officers or the police or the people that were around them? Or do you think that it was more from a collective perspective?
I think these 5 police officers behave like gang members, and I'll be very interested when we get the real details on what was motivating them. I don't believe this was a traffic stop for Tyre Nichols doing anything wrong. This looked like a gang hit to me. But in terms of I'm go back to my overall thesis of what I'm trying to say is that when you have communities that are dominated by single parents, unsupervised kids, what the police will end up doing, because again, when fathers aren't in the homes, when the family's broken down, kids, young men are attracted to gangs.
Correct.
And so anytime you have concentrations of gangs, what the police will end up doing is creating a gang within the police force to police the gangs in their community. This is commonplace all over the country. They've had TV shows that depict it and show it, and the TV shows are based off reality. One of my favorite TV shows is The Shield. It was based off the reality of what went on in Los Angeles in the 80s in the ramparts. The LAPD or the police, law enforcement out there started this group, Ramparts, no different than the Scorpion Unit. And it's the whole strike team in the show Shield was a replication of a police force created a gang to go combat gang violence. That's what Memphis did. Commonplace all over the country. And so if you have communities with no family structure and kids attracted to gangs, in some different form or fashion are going to create a gang to go fight that gang or that gang violence, and you're going to get out of control, lawless police officers who believe the only way they can enforce law and order or peace and order is by becoming just as criminal as the community that they're policing or the gangs within those communities. And so this is again what I'm saying, Tyre Nichols and other people, myself when I was young and growing up in certain zip codes or whatever, there's collateral damage to these communities. Hopefully it's not as bad as what happened to Tyree Nichols, but anytime you have young people that aren't properly supervised by both parents, you're going to have chaos in that community, and that chaos is going to spin out and create really horrible outcomes like what happened to Tyree Nichols.
Let me ask you a question. You said that, you know, you largely subscribe to your life is a reflection, or your, you know, previous things in your past is a reflection of you actually subscribing to this Western culture of focusing more on career and things like that. You don't believe that men
I wouldn't label that as Western culture or whatever. Maybe it is, but I wouldn't put any pejorative or narrative on Western culture.
Okay. Well, just the way in which things are out of place when it comes to how things are supposed to operate within a biblical structure and how we define households are supposed to be raised, right? You don't believe that men should more or less focus more on their purpose. And I'm only minding this out based off of what you said, because you said that you were more focused on your career and things like that instead of being focused more on family. What do you mean by that?
I mean that I made a lot of decisions in my life, in my 20s and 30s, maybe a little bit in my 40s, that were all career, financial, popularity, chasing success rather than chasing family structure. God wants men to create families and head those families and be a part of leading a home and leading a community. That wasn't a high priority for me. Hanging out in strip clubs and chasing younger women and doing stuff that, you know, so-called wealthy people with popularity are supposed to do. That was my priority. It was a mistake, a big mistake.
You don't think that? See, I disagree with you to an extent. Obviously, I don't have all of the context behind what your life was like in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. But you say create families. Are you saying that as like against the idea of just going out and having a good time? Because the way you're describing it, you saying that, I was on my purpose, I was focused on my career, I was focused on becoming successful, popularity, all of that other type of stuff. I know it's going to be a lot of things.
I needed to be doing that in partnership with a wife and kids and leading a family. I was very arrogant and very selfish in my approach.
But I mean, as long as you didn't have kids out of wedlock, and obviously I don't necessarily agree with the idea of fornicating, but that's not what you said. You telling me that you needed to do that in tandem with raising a family?
Part of this is I knocked up a friend of mine, and she had an abortion without my knowledge. That's part of been my repentance and regrets, and just living a immoral lifestyle. Yeah, that I caused her pain and myself. We both did, but I'm the man. And so, I could walk you through a number of just really stupid things I did in retrospect. And I'm telling you, if for someone like me, that much of my career has been dedicated to trying to expose a level of truth, primarily to Black people, that I think will liberate them and put them in a better mindset. And I left out, in my view, the biggest part of that, creating my own family, partnering with a woman, and doing it together with me as the leader. That wasn't as high a priority as it should have been if I really, really, really wanted to accomplish the mission that I feel like I've been called to do.
When did you start coming back to when did you come to or have that awakening moment or that red pill moment, so to speak, to where you said, you know what, I'm on the wrong track, or
What's up, Ewan?
this is a reality check for me, or whatever? Was it like one specific moment, or was it like a whole series of situations that then led you to this mindset that, you know what, I need to get things together, or I need to live more based off of these biblical principles?
I was raised in the church and always a believer, but it really wasn't until 2013 when I went back to ESPN for a second time and was attacked, in my view, in a very unfair way, and I couldn't figure out like where it was coming from. And eventually I figured it out. It was my values, because again, I was living a secular way, but there were things in my writing that exposed that were consistent with my biblical worldview and values that the left and liberals or whatever just weren't having. And so I was attacked and smeared in a way that made me figure out, like, I got to get right with God, because God's the only defense I have.
Oh, I don't know.
And
I don't know, Barry.
It was, after I got pushed out of ESPN in 2015, it was crystal clear to me that the only way I was going to survive was to start wearing my biblical values, my Christian beliefs on my sleeve.
Who is your wife?
And start living a better lifestyle that was more consistent
Who is your wife?
with, what I believe and what I think God wants from me. And so, it was at that time. And again, I had written about my faith and all that stuff previously throughout my career, but I had also written in great detail about my secular lifestyle. And, I'd even taken on a nickname that, given myself a nickname and taken on, everybody called me Big Sexy. And I told people that, like,
Big
it's
Sexy.
insanity that I'm basically celebrating my gluttony and my lust. I'm having everybody call me by something that celebrates gluttony and lust. This is completely out of line with God. And so
who's your wife now?
It's
Big Sexy. Oh Lord.
I pivoted in 2015, and that's the explanation.
Do you feel do you have any regrets?
I just talked about
outside of, okay, listen, I'm not talking about your own personal transgressions or your own past, right? After you pivoted, right? Because a lot of what you've basically communicated to me is that you pivoted because you didn't have any other choice, right? It's almost like God forced you into this space where he was dealing with you at that particular time.
Man,
right?
Lying.
Even then, right? Based off of the journey that you're making, do you still think that, or do you have regrets based off of what it is that you've been living your life like after 2015, right? Do you still feel compelled to have a family, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. No, I definitely. Definitely. But again, when
he's 55 years old.
It's hard to shake off. I had to, in 2000.
He ain't Diddy.
20, I had to leave LA and Los Angeles because I wasn't strong enough to stay in Los Angeles. And so that's part of this. Several reasons why I left Fox Sports. And part of it was like, I need to get out of LA.
Now he's the victim. He's a victim now.
Live a more biblically sound Christian way. I don't have the strength to do it here in LA. And so, and again, I got regrets. I just ate a baked potato and a half for my lunch. I probably should have just ate a baked potato. I got regrets pretty much every day. I regret coming on here without running a comb through my hair, but
too many women, Mark.
I have regrets all the time.
He's still a womanizer.
Do you think that now, we said 2015, almost 8 years later, that you strong enough to actually be able to exist in these environments that you had to get away from in order to be able to start living this lifestyle that you live in?
No. 23 already.
But let me add a little bit more context, right? So, for example, because I know you do your own thing or whatever, and you got your own broadcast and everything like that. Would you ever even go and work for some of these organizations that may have pushed you out? If they were to ever come calling again, would you even consider it? Would you consider moving back to LA? Would you consider being in those environments? And do you think that you're strong enough? And the reason that I'm asking you specifically is because I think that you are a reflection of a segment of the population of men that face, a lot of the temptations and the things on a daily basis that come along with success. Do you think that you're strong enough to be able to exist in those environments again?
Yeah, I feel like I don't think I would ever live in LA again. And that's that explanation is a bit more personal that I'll go into on here. But I can work anywhere because again, I'm pretty. Even when I was out there bad, I'm pretty unshakable on the things that I believe in. I've dealt with a lot of public criticism throughout my entire career, no matter where I worked at. And there are values that were instilled in me at the church I grew up in that they're not going anywhere. And they're just not. And
so are you celibate?
So I think anybody that knows me or has worked with me
are you celibate?
In the past knows, I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to do what, I think is right.
Are you
I'm
celibate?
I'm a good employee. I'm going to show up on time. I'm not going to cause any problems. You're going to catch me sexually harassing nobody.
Right.
Are you celibate?
Can I exist? Yeah, I existed. I had a great 5 or 6 year run at Fox Sports before I left in 2020. There's no one at Fox Sports or anywhere that can complain about anything I did while I was there. My personal life or the woman I was dating out in LA or whatever, I just needed to move.
What about, because you said it's not necessarily Western culture, but I got to push back a little bit against that simply because we exist in an environment where family court laws, for example, is set up as basically a profitable entity that then benefits at the chaos that comes along with breaking up family.
That's not Western culture, I think, though. That's been the
family court laws?
Western culture, yeah. Western culture is being perverted right now. Western culture is the experiment of installing Christian values in your system of operation, and that's all been under attack and under really strong attack the last 60-70 years. And so the way they've set up family court system to completely favor the woman and totally emasculate and punish the man. That's not Western values. That's the matriarchy. That's
get your kids.
You don't think that how things evolve then become a part of the culture?
Yeah, they're reshaping the culture. But again, this is not what was intended, when it started. But yeah, they are totally, and that again, my whole show and point of view for the last decade basically has been like, they're reshaping the culture in a way that undermines male leadership, undermines God's natural order, eliminates Christian values.
I agree, 100%.
Right. So,
well, the reason I asked that question is because if the purpose of a man, according to what it is that you described, right, is family, what we see happening in culture in a general sense is the exact opposite of that, right? And so how can a man exist within this culture and be able to really be in his purpose when in reality everything is lined up against a man, which it doesn't give a man any incentive to do so.
We the one stuck
You know,
home with the
and
How
he then looked to protect himself because it's hard to ignore what happened to the people that came
Hold
before
up.
you. It's hard to ignore a guy that's getting killed on child support. When I read these, or I look at these,
You know what, men? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, dang it. You can't have it as, you know what? How are we supposed to make it in this world when it's set up for the woman? Okay, so the woman got the kids. Why you can't make it? Oh, because it was set up for us to for y'all ain't got no kids in the house. Y'all just said it's set up for the woman to have the kids. So we stuck in the household full of kids. So yay, we won. We won. Whoopie-doo. If that's how you guys see it, y'all won. We stuck home in the house with the kids, all these damn grown kids, all these problems, and we gotta work. So what do you do with your time? You get to do whatever you want to do with your time. Because you ain't stuck in the household with the kids and you gotta work. Okay, so come get your kids. Learn how to really see. These men have no structure. You cannot teach a structure when you guys have no structure. If the woman have the kids, the woman is working. If the woman is doing everything, you have nothing. Stop. So who are you structuring? The woman that you with, okay. You only can structure her, but damn, this daggone cat. Oh, so you don't have kids to structure. You don't have time to structure because you can do things at any time that you want because you have nothing holding you. So you want to work late? Yeah, I can work late, no problem. Want to do overtime? Yeah, I can do overtime. Can you work the weekends too? Yes. Matter of fact, any shift you give me, women don't have that. So you guys should be flourishing even more because you don't have the structure. You don't have no time that's going to construct you from doing anything that you need to do. Some women have to leave early, get somebody to take their kids to school and pick them up by the time they get home. They can't play around. Or if some kids in daycare, they got her to give them to daycare, go to work, key, get home by the time daycare is over. No, they cannot do overtime. They cannot work the weekends. It's a lot of things they cannot do. And then a lot of women loses their jobs because you got some Billy Bad Behinds. You got to go up to the school. And you got the kids that are excellent. And you still got to go up to the school. They getting this award. They getting that award. They having this show. So either way, the kids want to play sports. You guys don't have to. So how is it we won the prize? We really won the prize. Woohoo. Now ask them same men the ages of that, but not that one who's talking about the biblical, because he ain't said he's celibate. He ain't said he looking for the right one. He ain't said nothing but a bunch of nothing. He trying to play the victim and trying to throw his life up in there. Ninja, please stop playing with us. We ain't stupid. You said that happened in 2020, so that means you still should be celibate. You listening to reading the Bible, then you ain't having no type of thing going on with you, right? Right? These men get to make businesses, everything. And then mother do it. The good mothers do it. We got that guilt. We got that mommy guilt. The men don't have daddy guilt because the mothers have mommy guilt. Then about the more men getting on child support. So what? That's the best thing. Because you're paying somebody who you really know love your child to take care of your child. the mother's doing what she's supposed to do with that money, you come out winning. Because you got to pay for a babysitter, depending on how many kids. And on top of that, you don't got to buy food because she buying it. You ain't got to buy, even though it's your money, but it's going towards the kids. Again, that's not messing with none of your time. That's the purpose of the child support. She even does the footwork for you. I need some shoes. Okay, let's go. Time for clothes. Gotta go clothes shop. You ain't got to do none of that. None, unless you choose to. But a woman, if she gets that child support, she has to. She got to buy the food and cook the food and check the home. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is come over every weekend and go, what up? You want to go out? You want to chill with daddy? You don't even know how terrible your child is. A lot of y'all don't even know y'all kids. And as soon as something happens, it's because of the mother. Well, anyway, let's finish this.
Videos and guys that then get put on child support as a result of a woman putting his name on a birth certificate for a kid that's not even his. That's hard for me to be able to tell a guy, hey, your purpose is family, when in reality it's set up for him to fail.
I don't think we have any disagreement there. The only thing we probably have disagreement on is that this matriarchal push, this objection to traditional Christian values is as it relates to us as Black people.
Right.
The leaders of that group are Black women. They've taken the...
I agree.
They want to disavow Western culture, Christian values, patriarchal leadership. They've taken the deal that LBJ put on the table and every Democrat has put on the table ever since. And then we as Black people allow them to say, anybody that objects to like, hey man, this doesn't work for the Black man. This doesn't work for men in general. This doesn't work if you have Christian values. Anybody that stands up and says that, they say, well, that dude is anti-Black. He's either a white racist or he's a Black sellout.
Sexy.
He's a coon. He's an Uncle
Non-sexy
Tom. It's white supremacy. And so they've taken racial idolatry. Idolatry is at the root of all sin.
I agree.
Idolatry is anything you place above God. And so they've taken racial idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's many, I had a sexual idolatry that will take
it's basically placing anything before God, to love anything before God.
Yeah. So I have a food idolatry, and so, but racial idolatry is the force that they're using to rope all of us Black people into, hey, this system sucks. We've been oppressed. We're victims. We can't make it in America. Blah, blah. They're using racial idolatry to destroy us. And so I'm standing up and saying, like, look, man, as Black people, Black men in particular, because this all falls on us. If we're not cowards, we would stand up and fight back, and we would stand up and tell our women, no, we're not going for this. This is crazy. It's laid out in the Bible what roles are supposed to be played, who's supposed to be the leader, and I'm not going for this. And so whether it be my mama, who I love to death, my sister, who I love to death, my grandma, that I love to death, I tell them all, you're not calling the shots. I am.
Now your mama called the shots.
And that's just the way it's going to be.
Your daddy left you.
And I get that many men, because of the way this culture's moved, it's very tough to have that conversation with your wife or your baby mama, because she's got some leverage over you. They've built some leverage into the system that makes it really, really hard. So it's much easier for me, and that's why I take these bullets, because it's much easier for me because I'm not married, and so who cares if everybody takes a dump on me and calls me the worst person wrecking the planet. It's harder for those of you that are married or have kids with a woman because she's got so much leverage over you. Her and that court system and the media can annihilate you at the drop of the hat. I get it. But I'm just telling you this. If we don't stand up, we're all going to be wearing skirts. We're all going to be bent over by somebody. And they're going to be...
If you don't stand up and did something for that big behind bump on your lip, you got that big old bump on your lip. That's because you was out there being Mr. Mandingo, huh? Allegedly. Allegedly. Where that big bump on your lip come from, huh? You got a cold? You have a cold? What is that big old bump on your lip? When you was out there being sexy fat, right? That's where that bump came from? We're gonna say we're not standing up and we're not doing this. Then don't. Because that only works if you're somebody's husband. Y'all want all women to bow down to you guys. Absolutely not. You're not that woman's husband. And you chose not to have a wife. So it's not our fault that you don't feel like you're in control or you in charge. You the one chose not to have a wife. Every woman women don't have to bow down to men. Maybe I can see about wife. We're speaking upon wife and husband biblically. But nobody said bow down to no women ain't. I'm sorry, God, women ain't doing it no more. Damn it. We ain't doing it. We were never built to do that, and we're not doing that. Because at the end of the day, God knows something we didn't know. God knew that y'all men, well, out of fact, every time y'all men, when it was really patriarchal, all you saw is war. Up and down the Bible, what's what you see? Wars. Y'all love the wars. So where does that leave the women? When you came here, a war. What's going on now? Wars. That's men setting it off. You don't want the women to lead, but y'all men keep setting shit off. Y'all set it off. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all setting it off. Y'all want something that ain't gonna happen. What you need to do, you gotta learn to get along. I keep telling you, respect goes a long way for both factors. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. You respect the child, a child respects you back. You respect the elder, an elder respects you back, vice versa. If I have respect for you, ain't no need to have this conversation. Because these conversations is coming from people who don't have respect for one another. That's why things are not in order. Because people don't have respect for one another. There is none. There's no respect. Anytime you're saying, oh, wow, I'm not going to have this woman if she get too fat, or if that man, that means y'all don't have no respect for one another. Exactly. Oh, now I'm drinking my soda before Nicole drink it all. Got to get some of that ginger ale up in there. I was in did too before. Exactly. And a lot of them, man, they, like you said, they didn't even know what they was fighting for. They didn't even know. What they was fighting for. That I like that. That puts me on my plate. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. There's nothing wrong with some meat on the plate, baby. But see, these men, I'm gonna get to that hyena. Or I was supposed to talk about something totally different. But I'm gonna let this finish out, then I'm gonna get to the next one. I'm gonna go out and come back in with the next one. This one I wasn't gonna do, but it got thrown in there. I was fighting for love. Alrighty.
Jamming something up in the back of you, and you're gonna just have to sit there and take it. I'm not going to do that. And so, they're going to continue to build a world where you have to answer to women. Good luck with it. You're not going to be happy, and you're going to be completely emasculated, and you will be painting your fingernails, wearing high heels, and kept as a plaything for some woman or some man or some little Hollywood power broker. But it's the alphabet mafia is running a heck of a game on us, and it starts with the black woman took the deal, and I'm sorry that I spoke imprecisely on Tucker Carlson, but I talk about this all the time on my show every day. Anybody that I write about it, I'm not hiding in the closet like, hey, this matriarchal culture is out of control. And so everything I said on Tucker Carlson, even the imprecise things I said, is very consistent with everything that I write and talk about on my show. Anybody that's been paying attention knew exactly what I was saying. Anybody that didn't know exactly what I was saying, I immediately came in and explained in written form and on my show for 3.5 hours. And so, people are just looking for excuses not to deal with the truth. The black man and the black woman have different goals and agendas, and we as men have to man up and either get them back in line or separate.
So what do you?
I totally agree. That's the one thing I totally agree with. Besides it getting us back in line, we were never out of line. A lot of our grandparents, depending on your age, they were together because a lot of them had XEX before they got married, and boop, grandma knocked up. A lot of people don't realize that until, like, they look at a grandma's birthday, and either they the oldest or maybe one of their siblings is the oldest, and they were like, oh wow, grandma was knocked up when she got married. So that's why a lot of our grandparents got married. People don't want to talk about that. If you're going to talk about it, talk about it. A lot of our grandparents didn't even really know each other. They didn't like each other. They just fooled around. And boop, she got knocked up. Next thing you know, they was married. That's why they said, that's where they got to the point when they said, y'all better grow to love. That's where grow to love somebody come from. Because now you're stuck with me. You better grow to love me. And then that's when Grandpa became the worst man ever. He just started cheating and making all these outside babies. Daddy out there making. Yes. But if you're going to speak upon it, speak upon it. If you're going to speak upon, oh, then we took the deal. What deal did we take? Because I'm still trying to see how do we benefit from the deal that we took. What was the deal? You let us know what was the deal and what did we take. I'll wait. I will wait. We took a deal to work because our kids are hungry. Oh, okay. We took a deal to be a single. Oh, okay. And then I don't even blame it on men neither. See, because we are a people. We are a people. We are one people. The blame game ain't gonna work. But they know the blame game. No, get us back in place. What? No, most of the women ain't cooking no more. Most of the men know how to cook better than females now. No, it's not going to be an office full of men anymore. We tried it. You needed some women up in there. No, they're not making coffee anymore and passing you coffee while y'all sitting up there making a bunch of mistakes. And then behind the scenes, the women are cleaning up the mistakes that y'all men made, but you guys get all the credit. Y'all seen them back in the day shows when the women will call a man in the office and then he'll come back out like he had the idea. Not easy to find good, loyal women like that. It wasn't no. When was it? When was it good, loyal women, Thunderbolt? When was it good, loyal women? And for how long was that? And how long was that? When was it good? You let me know. When was it good, loyal women? And when was it good, loyal men? I don't care if he is poly or not. You still got to be loyal. You're not supposed to cheat. You're still not supposed to cheat. There's always been a time when there were good, loyal women. But that's even today. It's good, loyal women today. But it wasn't like it was back then. It was always good, loyal women. No, and no. Grandma was getting her shake on too, honey. Great grandma was getting her shake on too. And you can't say no because you wasn't there. You wasn't there until auntie and uncle told, grandma was out there. Your grandma, which should be their sibling. They know what their siblings was doing. But anyway, I am out of here, guys. I'm going to come back on because I want to speak upon like some of the mindsets when people come out of cults. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I will be back. So go run to the bathroom. Nicole, go get our ginger ales. Oh, Nicole, I got cookies. I got our cookies. I should be eating our cookies. But I got us some cookies. I got our snacks. Because me and Nicole don't play about our ginger ale and our snacks. We will get you. Don't play with our snacks and stuff. But I will be right back. Thank you guys for being here. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe. And if you like what you see, hit the like. Catch you on the next one. Peace.